My name is Lisa Powers, and I'm the chair of the Board of Library Trustees. And tonight is the January meeting. It's January 28th, 2025. The first item on the agenda is review the minutes of the December 17th meeting. Thank you, Barb. The minutes are very well done. I think I noted, let you know before the meeting about one small clerical error. But
Yep, so there's a spelling error in there that I need to fix with regard to the Massachusetts Board of Library.
Commissioners.
Commissioners,
The
yes,
other-
it's supposed to
should be
be
MBS.
Massachusetts Library Board Commissioners. So, yeah. You shall fix that.
any other
Thank you,
edits
Barb.
or anything else? Do we have a move to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And it passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is review and act to approve the report of the director's activities of December of 2024. So it was a very busy month again for Priya, and
Oh, how was the team building, well, the work day?
Cleanup.
The cleanup day.
It was very
after we
good.
left.
People were, staff was very happy that they were able to, really, they were very happy that they were able to organize and clean the workspaces and all of that. So I didn't get anything done in my office, but everyone else did.
I also wondered how this community reading project was coming along. Have you selected the book yet?
So we are not selecting one book,
Oh.
but we are going to be recommending a number of titles based on books based on food and nutrition and cooking and all of that. So we will come up with a list of titles for fiction, nonfiction, children's books, teen books, etc. And we've planned a number of fun activities. It'll all be in the spring newsletter, which we are working on right now. So lots of fun activities, food related, and recommended lists of books will be there. It's pretty cool.
should be fun.
It should be fun.
Will you be able to use the
Yes,
traveling kitchen?
yes.
Good.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that in action.
I know.
I can make a motion to approve. There's no questions?
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And it passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is programs and services, the director's report of programs and services offered December 2024. So I think I was reading in your stats that there were 105 adult, teen, and children's programs in December with
Yeah.
2,610 people in attendance,
Yeah.
which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, as you know, the children's programs draw huge crowds. We had the holiday open house in December, and a lot of other stuff, a lot of other fun events.
3 events every day.
New Year's Eve, yes, I was trying to think which one had lots and lots of kids
Okay.
and families there.
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve attracted a lot of people.
Yeah, the children's programs are just amazing.
Yeah.
There's always one that catches my eye. The Make a Friend, Sew a Stuffed Bear. I'm guessing that was very popular.
Yes, yes, it was.
And then the Escape Room for Teens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
always a hit.
So the laser cut program for the snowflake, was that a training program included in that, or were these?
It was something that people were actually making.
Priya, do you have an idea of what attendance from our patrons is like for the virtual events with the speakers
The
consortium?
Library Speakers
Yeah.
Consortium, yeah, last month I actually compiled the stats for that. And we also, the rep for the Library Speakers Consortium also spoke with us and said for a library our size, we are doing very well with attendance. A population town our size. So we are right there along with other libraries. And the archived videos get more views than the actual live.
On the live stream, yeah.
The live stream, but it is doing well, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Are those in the print newsletter?
Pardon?
Are those in the print newsletter?
Yeah.
You remember? Okay. Excellent.
One thing I would notice, the non-library groups, you had something about this presentation about Shen Yun.
Yes.
That's a very controversial group at the present time,
Um,
isn't it? I was wondering who sponsored that presentation.
I mean, they said they're based in Westboro. I know I hesitated a lot before I approved that meeting. They said it was just an informational session and that they were going to talk about their program. Maybe next year I'll rethink that if they request the meeting room again. But I don't know about the group. I mean, it's supposed to be controversial, I think.
Well, in terms of their treatment of people in the group, as I understand it, it was almost like a bondage kind of situation.
In the US?
No, in Shenyang, I don't know where it
Okay,
happened,
Yeah,
you know, because they're international.
right,
Yeah.
they are international.
You know, this, that group, it's China Before Communism,
Oh.
the dance group, they come every year to
They
Worcester.
do.
Yeah.
They perform all over.
I don't know how well established that is and stuff, and, you know, we, of course, believe in free speech here, so,
Yeah.
what do we do?
Balance it out with the kindness coalition.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was cool.
With what?
Not
Kindness.
sure what it is, but.
Which one?
Sounds good.
The Kindness Coalition.
Yeah. That's a group that gathers here to put kits together, care kits and stuff. So they meet, they request the meeting room at least once a month.
Just a quick question about when outside groups come in to, and they rent the space.
Right.
Do they set it up themselves, or how does that?
It depends. Most of the time we do set it up, but sometimes we tell them that if it's a Saturday or Sunday, and, or even the night, or if there's
Yeah.
too many things going on, we
Sure.
say, can you help set up? I mean, the staff will always help them or work together.
So it sounds like
Generally-
if you can accommodate them beforehand, they give you the information, yes,
Right.
but if not,
Right, right,
they'll
yeah,
have to figure it
Right.
out. Okay.
yeah, especially if we don't have a custodian. So,
Any other comments on programs and services? The next item on the agenda is financial and legislative review and act upon the year-to-date report.
So it looks like we're pretty much on track.
we are, yeah.
I was wondering, I noticed you mentioned there was less money spent on materials because of Ingram.
Yeah.
Has that situation been resolved?
It's getting slightly better.
Okay.
We still have all the backlog of books that were ordered in November, December are now coming in.
Yeah,
So hopefully they'll catch up.
okay.
Yeah, that's been a problem that all libraries have faced because of their,
Well, they certainly used to
Targets.
dominate the monthly report, when we get those
I know. the
reports to look at, it's
Yeah.
Ingram, it's like
Right.
a major
Yeah.
source of our materials.
Right, yeah.
We seem to have been I don't know about you, how all you feel, but the past week or so, we've gotten a lot of warrants to sign.
Right.
How is that
Yeah.
managed? Is it just kind of as invoices appear and?
No, I mean, if you got all of them together, then it wasn't done
Okay, I see.
immediately after, because every week there's a warrant that I sign
I see.
for all the APs, invoices and stuff, and payroll is every 2 weeks.
Right.
So,
We get like 6 last week.
Sometimes they appear like in a wave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Other times they're spread out,
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
one was a wave.
yes.
And you can predict, oh, this is a wave day, they're gonna keep coming.
I'm just so grateful that we're able to do them online now.
Yes.
It really helps.
Gosh, yeah.
Remember those little
Yeah,
piles of
definitely.
warrants that were about this high?
Yes.
Yeah.
Percent has bumped up, for the library materials, percent did bump up quite a bit this month from last month, huh? So it looks like the problem's
Yeah,
getting resolved, at least to a degree.
it is,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I know that longevity is always up above 100 or high,
Yeah.
but it seems really high. 185?
No, you don't have to worry about
Okay. That was the
that. I
right
don't know
answer.
why it's not calculated in the beginning.
That's what I want.
Okay. Numbers, I do words.
I know, same. Because they're so
I'm like, send the word, send the word.
We look at the left column.
Good company.
Does anybody have any more comments or want to move to approve the report?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? And the report passes. And then the budget review meeting with the town manager.
Yeah, we will
Um,
be having the meeting, I just wanted to mention that.
On the 31st.
Lisa and I will be going to the meeting this Friday to meet with the town manager and the assistant town managers to go over the budget proposal.
The next item on the agenda is facility, equipment, and grounds. And I know, Priya, that heating has been very difficult in this very frigid past
Right.
week.
Last week was really, really cold and the heat was not working at all in the old part of the building. Again, public facilities was responsive. They tried, with in-house staff, and then there was an HVAC technician who came to look at the units again, and the assistant divisional manager said that the contractor had made some mechanical repairs, including the replacement that they had been looking for, and recharged the refrigerant, but unfortunately, it did not fully resolve the issue. So one thing led to another, I guess. So one thing was fixed, but something else was not working. So they had to get another technician to go through the system, etc. And they said this is a high priority, we understand that it's cold and we are trying our best to restore heat. But those cold days, it was very, very cold. Since then, it's improved. Today it was normal temperature.
Good.
I did not need the space heater in my office, but I was not using my office at all last week. I just kept going to other spots. Fortunately, Mike's office is vacant, so
Yeah.
I could go there. But it was cold again in the quiet room, and the reading room, the science fiction room. And it was even cold in the circulation area, because it was so cold that, I mean, here it gets a little cold when the door keeps opening and closing, and that the staff door entrance also, when the vendors the delivery people come and all that. So it was combined thing. It was cold almost everywhere except in the children's room and in the teen room. The teen room is very warm and cozy always.
So is it resolved, or does it still need work to be done?
I'm not
or-
sure if it's resolved completely.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, today it seems fine, but I didn't see any technician coming with another part
Yeah,
that they had mentioned has to be replaced. So
and we know it's a reoccurring problem.
it is
So,
definitely.
yeah, hopefully that gets tended to.
Yes. Yeah, the town manager did respond to my email saying that he would, it is, I mean, something that they will look into for long-term solutions.
So it's mostly the old part of the building, obviously.
Yes.
It's not the new part of the building.
Mostly the old
It's the
part of the
historic
building.
older part of the building.
Right, right. And they looked at the unit, like the one in my office, and they said maybe those units have to be changed. So they're, I mean, I think the diagnosis has to be done first, exactly what is causing this problem. And
But I
then-
don't understand what is meant by long-term, because it's already been long-term. Like, I don't know what the threshold for long-term is, because this has been going on and on and on, the old part of the building,
Right,
right?
it's summer and winter.
Yeah, exactly. It's too hot in the summer, it's too cold in the winter.
Right.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess the long-term solution means they have to find the money in the budget to replace the units or whatever needs to be done has to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I do think a first step is a clear diagnostic approach to what
Right.
is happening and to name it, this is what we need to do,
Yeah. It'd
right?
be good if they had I don't know, just a summary of what's been done since this first started.
Mhm.
If they could have a summary of everything that's been done with the heating system in that part of the building,
Right.
with each breakdown, and then from that,
Yeah.
generate, here's what a likely diagnosis is, and here's what we're gonna do to fix it short term, and then here's what we'll do with that
Because it
short
does
term.
seem like if a problem is recurring, all the solutions are bandage solutions, right? They haven't
Right.
been long-term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think-
problematic. 'Cause it's not like a seasonal facility.
I know.
Right, yeah.
That's a good
And
place to
it's-
start, though, kind of a history of
Mhm.
everything that's been done. And that would help someone decide what, where we have to go from here.
Would that make sense to bring that to the meeting on Friday?
We could,
I mean, maybe you need more time, give them heads up. I don't know, it's difficult for the staff and for patrons, and especially because the library is a place where people come to
Right,
get warm or
exactly.
cool off. It's
Yeah.
like a third space that would
The other thing is when it
dependable.
keeps changing hands, like, oh, this one technician came and now they're, like, are we keeping track of this historical data of
right.
here's how we needed to progress on
Right.
this, right? And where did we find closure? Because of that, we don't know right now what exactly the problem is, except that it's cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it seems as though any extreme weather,
Right.
any extreme weather, whether it be heat or cold,
Yeah.
seems to kick out, the system in the old part of the building cannot cope
Right.
with extreme weather.
Yes, never.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think I haven't seen it cope.
right.
So
In
far.
last 2 to 3 years, definitely.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could bring it up at the meeting on Friday.
We could, yeah, yep. Okay.
It is a budget item.
Mhm.
It has to come out of the building.
Yeah, right, public facilities.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it come out of the public facilities budget,
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
not the library budget?
Yeah.
Okay, public
And
facilities.
it's a large chunk of the building, it's not like, oh, we can't.
It's not
use the
annex.
whole-
Right, it is. I mean, the quiet room is so big.
Exactly.
And people were bringing their own space heaters and stuff.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, small ones, but they were bringing their own space heaters and we had to tell them, sorry, please don't do
It's a
that.
hazard,
You know,
yeah.
Fire hazard, dripping hazard, all the cards.
It would be interesting to ask Mike Pagano about this, because Pagano with Lamar and Pagano did the renovation. It'd be interesting to hear what they did to update the heating system when they did the renovation. Did they do much, or did they just,
I don't know
put
if it
new
was a
radiators
complete-
in to keep the original pipes? I have no idea what they
Yeah,
did.
that's what it
Yeah.
feels like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be You see the foundation?
I do see him.
Yes, he's on the
He was
foundation board,
surprised.
so, yeah. Yeah, he should be able to help,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was surprised when I said that this has been a chronic problem,
Yeah.
HVAC system.
Let's see if he remembers what they did. He probably does.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good resource.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is gifts and grants. We have good news. We received a 5,000 donation from the Turkey Trot for the Memory Committee. I think it's specifically targeted for the Memory Cafe.
Yes, it was very generous of them. We're really grateful for that. And the funds, of course, will be used for performers, presenters, the ones that we invite to entertain our Memory Cafe visitors.
Yeah, that should go a long way.
Yes.
It's wonderful. And the next item on our agenda is personnel. As we discussed last month, Mike Zeller left to become library director at the Auburn Public Library. So his position, the assistant director position, has been posted.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
receiving a lot of applications to date. We've received 11 applications. Interviews will be
Wow.
scheduled next week.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Lots of interest.
Yeah.
And then also the full-time technical services library position has been posted.
Yeah.
Since Charlotte Budge retired last
Right.
month.
Right, and that has been posted internally, and we did one interview yesterday, and we'll be doing another at the end of this week,
Yes,
and
and
hopefully we'll have. the
it's sort
news
of like an
by next
upgraded position from half-time to
Yes.
full-time, which is
Yes.
wonderful.
week. Yes.
The next item on the agenda is the Shrewsbury Public Library announces a talk by Dr. Russell Johnston on Thursday, March 13th. I don't know
Yes,
very much
yeah,
about
this will be
this.
the first of the distinguished speaker talks for 2025. Dr. Russell Johnson will be talking about, based on his book, Beyond Civility in Social Conflict, Dialogue, Critique, and Religious Ethics. Russell grew up in Shrewsbury and now works at the University of Chicago. He teaches religious studies there. It'll be a very interesting talk. It's called Communicating in Polarized Times. And the talk is scheduled for March 13th at 7 p.m.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm a Shrewsbury native.
Shrewsbury native, went to St. John's.
Awesome. I love it.
Lisa, under foundation, I also wanted to mention that, the annual report that was printed, mailed to residents, a lot of residents in Shrewsbury. The foundation board wanted the trustee board to revisit the payment for the printing of this report, whether we could use state aid funds for that. Remember, we had talked about it, the foundation, they had said the foundation would pay, but then we had a discussion at the last meeting, and they were wondering if we could use state aid funds. The cost was $3,806.45. It was not included in the agenda. I forgot to include that, but if we could discuss it.
Anybody have any thoughts on that? I mean, this is a perfect thing to use state aid for.
Yeah.
And we did it last year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have any comments, or would you like to move to approve the expense of, I think it was $3,800?
$3,806.45.
I move we, so moved.
Have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And it passes unanimously. Any other Shrewsbury Public Library Foundation items? No? The next item on the agenda is the Friends of the Library.
Is anything else?
Yeah, I can't think of anything new. Can you think of anything new?
No, I
Deb?
mean, we announced last month, I think, that the International Film Festival will begin this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah, right here.
February.
It's February.
I saw tonight, yeah.
So that should be a lot of fun, and popcorn, and I think some water will be available. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, those films, I looked them all up. They
Yeah.
all look really interesting.
Yeah.
So it's every Sunday
Every
in
Sunday at
February
2.
at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think the first one is like The Indefensibles or something like
Something like that. I
Something
can't
like
remember.
that,
I
yeah.
looked it up, but I can't remember.
Right,
But, yeah.
But it's on the library website.
So it's usually very well attended, a lot of fun, and I think this year we're gonna try to give a little bit of background information about the film itself as to why it was picked and a little bit of history of it. And my dream was always that perhaps after the film was viewed, there might be a little bit of discussion about it as well. So hopefully people will be open to that.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, the next item on our agenda is
Can I
policy.
just go back? I'm sorry.
Yes,
to
yes,
interrupt
yes.
you. Just that it's, because it is a new year, we are asking people to renew memberships to be a friend, and that would really help support all the programs at the library. So please consider that. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of the library programs are supported by funds from the Friends
Yeah.
of the Shrewsbury Public Library, and it is increasingly difficult. The programs are more expensive and more popular than ever, and it is hard to keep up with that fundraising.
Yeah.
So, let's see, the next item on the agenda is policies. I don't think we have any new policies to review. And then under miscellaneous, the preservation assessment grant.
Yes, so
Yeah.
this grant opportunity seemed really appropriate at this time, because we had been talking about our local history room and the collection there. And there is a preservation assessment grant, where if we are awarded the grant, it will be $7,500. And an expert will come and assess the collection in the local history room and give us ideas on how to, whether it's what is worth preserving, what is worth digitizing, how to go about doing that, and that kind of thing. So it was an easy grant to apply for also, because I have to look at the staffing that I have now without the assistant director and stuff. So this was just a grant application, just required a description of our collection. And we talked about the 3 parts of our collection. One is the Ward collection, that is the books donated by Artemis Ward. Then there is another whole section of books that are just falling apart. You're afraid to touch it because it's so fragile. Some of them are tied with a piece of rope kind of things. It's really in need of repair. So if someone could help us assess whether it's worth repairing, worth preserving, or the value of the books, etc., that would be good. And then we have the very small local history collection. Of course, definitely worth preserving, but some of those books are also pretty fragile. And so I think this would be great if we are awarded this, but we'll know by the end of February. Yeah, and this is like a follow-up of that person from the MBLC who came and looked at our collection and suggested that we apply for this grant, so we did that.
Thank you for applying for it.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so quickly for doing that. My other question though, would they, as part of their assessment, may they also provide information as to, if we don't want to keep the fragile books, for
Yeah.
example, could we donate them or sell them to another institution such as the Antiquarium Society in Worcester? Do they have that depth of knowledge, do you know?
I'm not sure, we'll have to see.
All right,
Yeah,
okay.
I have no idea. I mean, it's literally preservation assessment, so I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll suggest what we
Yeah.
could do.
Yeah, okay.
Are some of these part of the Artemis Ward collection?
So as I said, there are two different sections. One is a collection
Okay.
of books that are not donated by Artemis Ward, but they have been kept, and they're all on one section of the local history room. They're not cataloged, or some of them are, but not all of them. In fact, George Brown, our former assistant director and genealogy expert, I sought his advice. He came today to look at it, and because he's the most knowledgeable person that I know who's aware of, the whole collection and stuff. So he came and took a look, and he said the same thing. If they say that it's worth donating to someone else, like the Antiquarian Society, we could do that.
Sounds like some interesting materials.
Right.
Yeah, but we would want them in the right spot,
Right.
so.
And again, we don't have the staffing capability to assess that or do anything with it.
Mhm. I hope you get that.
I hope we have the correct, yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. The next item is a request to sell books by author Tammy Dunroe Inman, who is celebrating the release of her new cookbook, New England Brunch.
And she'll be talking as part of the cooking, food-themed programs.
Do we need to approve that? I'm
Yes.
guessing? Yes, okay.
I move that we approve the request for Ms. Inman to sell the book during our presentation.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And it passes unanimously. Our next meeting is February 25th. And anything else? I think we're
I
done.
just wanted to share this, our staff
Oh.
really appreciated the breakfast that all of you very graciously hosted, so.
That was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Lisa, for organizing.
Oh,
this.
yeah.
It was fun, it's always fun.
It was really fun. I really liked the ornament too.
I was say, I enjoyed showing people that, that
Yeah.
came to my house over the holidays. I'm like, look what I got from the library.
Yeah.
All the little things inside, the little photos.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, very, super creative. I loved it.
We do have a great staff here.
Yeah.
We're ready for
Great
a
staff
chat.
for doing terrific libraries.
Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting
I'll move to adjourn the meeting.
in a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And we'll see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.